Hello. Hello. Hey, Gonzo, welcome. We just went live. Good day, everybody. All right, so I guess we're doing the sound check thing now. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gonzo. Appreciate it. Obligatory part of the morning. Good day, welcome. So today we're going to jump right into doing some work on the website. My man Gonzo here has been putting some energy into basically working on, we had a chunk of our data, like the stuff you see on a web page, for example. Let's just go to any page here, this one. All this data we had previously kept in a Python file as Python code that was data. I'm just gonna, if you've seen the stream before, you've no doubt seen it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pull something up here. All right. And yeah, it's like not the most hideous thing you could ever see, but it's also like, it's like Python code using it as data. So it's no good. It was no good, suboptimal, and some of these just became kind of unwieldy. Like if you wanted to add data, you had to know kind of the ins and outs. I pause as I say that, and Gonzo's going to laugh because the format we moved to is maybe a little touchy as well. Let's take a look at that. So we're looking at armor.py. And now we move to a format called TOML, which I will say is different. But here it is. So it still kind of looks a lot like code because we're doing some magical things in there, right? Like this. But it arguably works better. Very arguably, in my opinion, works better than just having that Python in there. So, and it'll probably be gentler on our text editors. So anyways, where we're at is Gonzo put in their heroic effort to, and a few others have worked on it too, finding errors and whatnot. And we now have basically a TOML equivalent of everything. And so now we just need, and on last week's stream, which I did not upload, we began kind of noodling away at this, and basically I just have this code that it does really nothing. We're going to make it do something, but for now all it does is just reads the data from a given TOML file, and again, does nothing. So first though, what I want to do is, let's just back out of here. Let's make the terminal a little bit bigger here. By category, okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete them all. Yeah. Now we got nothing. Why did you do that? Well, because right now for testing purposes, I don't need like everything, right? We just want a little bit. So I'm just going to pick one category. I'm going to do ground cover because that's, on topic, I think. Let's go ahead. Sector, hey, welcome. Glad you're here, my man. Good day. There we go. We got just ground cover. Oh yeah. No, not yet. Okay, so I kind of skipped past that, but we'll let's see here. We have the final point on the to-do list, on the set list of the show. Oh, you know what? Hold up. Let's thank you, Gonzo. I appreciate that. Oh, here we go. All right. Say something, one of yous. Welcome, Sector and Gonzo. Welcome officially now that I've been streaming for 5 minutes without you, but with you.
Hello.
Check, can you hear me?
I know what I'm doing, I swear. So what you didn't hear Sector just say was I was reacting to that you didn't hear, which is probably pretty interesting. He mentioned that there is an update to the ground cover generator, and Yacoby, our internet friend that we've never met, or in my case, I've been really spoken to fulfilled a request. I think, Sector, you opened that request, right, for CLI support? That was you that put
Yes,
that
I
in,
did.
right?
That was how I found out, because I woke up this morning and he responded to my my issue, and I had it
Awesome.
in my email inbox. It was really cool. At like 2 a.m., he was like, "Yeah, I think I could do that." And then at about 5:30, he's like, "All right, it's done. Try it out."
Yeah, I was still kind of waking up, so I didn't realize not only did he add the CLI support, not only is there a Linux binary too, and it runs, but the GUI works on Linux too, and there's an import from OpenMW feature. It's like a dream come true. Like, the ground cover generator went from being like a, oh man thing to like, oh yeah, like now I'm looking forward. We can probably automate generating ground cover from our GitLab CI pipelines and so forth. But anyways, we'll get to that later on. We're doing this first. And no, Sector, the ground cover we're looking at is simply the effort to convert our Python data to TOML data, which has mostly been awesome. Okay, and so what I got here is I just rigged up a little bit of code. Again, that the purpose of this, I said it does nothing, but the purpose of it is it reads the data, and so if there's a problem, it's gonna say that there's an error, and will be noted. Okay. What did I do? Did I hurt? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I'm rolling through the categories here. So instead, we're just gonna... There we go.
Nobody saw that.
Oh, my typo. All right. Wait, what? Right. Still waking up here. Can't iterate an iterable, you dingus. Okay. Hey, I was gonna say the ground cover file looks wrong. Let's take a look at that. Oof. Hey, Honger. Hello. Good day. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you here. All right. Line 5. Oh, right. Okay. Some of this. Okay. Yeah, see, it's... Somehow this one... Oh, okay. Because we have a double thing going on here. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, for sure, Honger. Real life happens, and so we had to kind of like slow down the stream a little bit. But of course, the website kept chugging away, and I've been also chugging away randomly with OpenMW. But yeah, so trying to just get some summer sessions in here while we do continue improving the website. So yeah, welcome again. Glad you're here. Let's satisfy the TOML parsing gods now. All right. Can I? Oop, no more Emacs complaints. Let's just see if we can run my do nothing. Line 58. Yeah, okay, another one of these. Huh? No, actually, this totally should have got caught. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. And there's another one here. Finally, this one. Okay. Aha. My eyes make a poor TOML parser. What can I say? All right, cool. So this, nothing happening here, actually means that we're good. That means that, because all the code I have here does is tell us when there's an error. So when it does nothing, HOML format. Tell me more, Gonzo. All right, we're gonna get a little crazy here now. We're gonna actually do something with the data we get from the TOML file. And remember, we just have one. And so this is just gonna give us, I think, like a dictionary. Let's see. But it'll give me an idea of what we got to work with here. Details. Are you kidding me? That was unexpected. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, let's. Oh, okay, okay. It's just giving me the key. Okay, I understand. Thank you. So we need this guy here. Oh, yeah. Let's try that again. All right, that's what I wanted to see. Okay, so we've got a dictionary here. Key value for each mod. Now, and so that would be right here. So now we can basically start to do what we used to do with just, you know, running some Python code. Now we can take this and make a mod out of it. Let's do that. This all works. Yes, okay, so we got this monster of a function here called generate mod. And the old code simply looked like, let's look at the ground cover one, for example. It simply looked like this. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. We better pull it up on GitLab, actually. The old code just looked like this. We were importing the Python data from the Python files and just calling a function, and magic happened, right? Like quests in it, and boom, 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 boom. We've got quest mods in the database. What we need now is something more akin to what we have, for example, for usage notes, for example, are represented by TOML files. And what we're doing here is we're reading all the files and processing the data within, trying to give helpful errors when they happen. But ultimately, yeah, we're just we're reading the text file and then stuffing the data into the database. Save here would be the magic line, but also there's yeah, right here would be like a relational change. We're adding data about a relation with something else in the database. Doesn't need to be saved quite this way. That happens like this. Anyway, we're going to have something similar over here. All right. Let's go back to my output here. So we'll get this one right here. And just putting it there as a visual reference. For what I got to work with here. All right. And actually, let me visually separate it a little bit. Oh, you know what? We were talking about also removing the date updated field. I feel like we could do that today pretty easily. Since I would argue it's not useful information because it's not really accurate. Okay. That's it. Okay. Yeah, so this is what we get. So a few things to note here. we're going to need to do some lookups for tags. And I believe the same, there's kind of a rule when you do an alt2, the thing that you're an alt2 has to exist before you can be an alt to it, right? Excuse me. So that means that we couldn't say on verts that esthesia is an alt because the other one comes first. Anyway, something to keep in mind. Should already be arranged that way. Nonetheless. Okay. So going back to my, let's just do this. Helpers. Okay. Get that in our namespace here, and let's just see what my friend, the language server, says. Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, there we go. All right. Nice. I don't know how well you can see it on the bottom there, but I have a little prompt. If you're using like VS Code or some other text editor, it might tell you more prominently in the middle of the screen. It's just the Emacs way to put things down there. So, there's a few things that we could just put right in there. Hey, Detail Devil, welcome. Good day. Probably good evening for you. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you. So there's a few things we could just outright put in there, and let's just do that. Let's not worry too much. Author equals, so it would be like, almost certainly like that. Okay. 6 p.m. Yes, good evening. Oh, yep. So let's just try to run this. It'll complain. Ooh. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And we're getting the category because we, from our scope, we're looping through it right here. Not quite what we did with the other TOML eating code that I showed you with the usage notes, because that's a bit different. So, okay. Let's put our cursor back in there and we can see what else we got. Okay. So I wonder, too, I've been doing a lot of Lua lately, and I want to write Python like it's Lua because I like Lua more. So I might end up doing that. I find myself not really knowing what's idiomatic Python anymore. And I said that because I might do something like or none, right? And to me, that just feels, at this point, it feels Lua-y. Okay. Can I please have my... Thank you. Date added, okay. So the kicker is, yeah, some of these aren't present on every single mod. That's why we have this code here, is to kind of, well, actually, that's why the generate mod function exists. Which arguably, we should probably break all this. I won't probably touch that today, but this function arguably should be just the code should just be put into here. Anyways, we won't go down that rabbit hole. Somebody who wants to noodle on some Python could do that. Oh yeah, Detail Devil, thank you. That's a great question. Well, so, I'm not speaking officially or anything like that, but I know that some folks are particularly focused on, getting 0.49 polished for release. So, that's pretty exciting. That's like in sight, people are working toward it. There might even be some release video planning happening. I don't know. So that's pretty exciting. I think right now a lot of folks are kind of like trying to get there. We don't want to do too many more awesome features before release, if any, And then that kind of brings us to, 0.50, or, something else. So, yeah. I would say, actually, some of the latest OpenMW news to be hyped about would be, like, your sleeping spell mod, actually. You got a link to that? Did you ever upload that? I would say that's hype. By the way, Gonzo, we should make a ticket for, like, database schema cleanup, and we should remove, like, the is featured, and just, like, stuff we don't actually use. We should just remove.
I'll make a note.
Cool. Deal, Euro. What are you doing? Thank you so much, Detail Devil. Let's take a look at this, because I would say that's hype. I actually haven't even downloaded this yet. You have to forgive me. And I've been trying to think of, like, spell ideas for a hopefully upcoming Devilish spell compilation mod, maybe. I don't know. Devilish sleep spell. Here we go. Awesome. There's a video on here, right? Yeah. This is the one you shared on Discord. I'm just going to play this real quick. Pretty cool idea, I must say. Come on, YouTube. Full screen is unavailable. You're kidding. All right, hold on. We're just going to go to YouTube. Hold up. I think we got ourselves a Discord spam bot. I'm gonna go ahead and Gonzo, thank you. You are my man. All right.
Deleted.
Delete that spam. All right, let's take a look at this here. Our friend Detail Devil coming up with some pretty interesting spell ideas, actually. Sleep. And this is before we have any actual spell casting API, too. So pretty creative.
What? Yes.
Yeah, pretty creative stuff going on. I gotta say. So yeah, looking forward to trying that. And also, yeah, I'm in the middle of a playthrough myself and just trying to think of, like, ooh, what is some,
We need this.
Yeah, with this and just what is something else, too. Yeah, it won't count as a crime if you're hidden. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to check out your code then. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to where we were here. But yeah, so
Is it enchantable? Like, can you put it on like a? Could you make like a nightstick of sleep?
If you hurt the actors, they wake up. Yeah, that's a great question, Gonzo. I've yet to try it. So, Detail Devil, can you indulge? This is one that's going to blow up, I know, but we'll just roll with it. We'll just let it blow up. If Todd can reboot the console while you're playing, I can let it blow up. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how you can adjust that approach when we have like a spellcasting handler, you know. Yeah, that's interesting, man. That works. Boy, we sure put a lot of data in here, don't we? Come on now.
You're telling me.
Yeah, so interesting. We don't need to actually give this. Yeah, Gonzo would know, certainly. We don't need to give that because those are now... Wow, see, this is an artifact of back in the day, huh? We keep those in another... That was last summer's project. Needs cleaning. Oop. Eglot, you're killing me.
Needs cleaning was also pushed off to the
that's right, it's on the
data
plugins
paths or whatever, the plugin
yeah.
file.
Good recollecting, Gonzo. Thank you. That's absolutely true. Less is more. Absolutely. Extra CFG? No, don't need. Folder paths? Don't need. Custom folder? Don't need. Okay, so this is it. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm predicting problems with this because we actually, in the generate mod function, auto-generate slug, which is preferable. When I started the website, I did it manually. You know how you do things. Just temporarily hacky, ends up being forever. Yeah, okay, so this is the code that's either going to live or die right here. Let's check it out. Okay. We don't... Wait a minute. Let's just do or none here.
Let me know if I covered everything with that issue.
Oh, yeah. Let's just take a quick peek. Thank you. Yeah.
It's another checklist. You know how much I love checklists.
Absolutely. It's very helpful. Because otherwise, these things just fall into oblivion, you know? Alright, let's crunch it. I'm sure that just stuffing none in there is not going to suffice, but whatever. I would rather just let the... There we go. What's going on with my computer right now? Oh, just OBS. Chewing up my CPU. For your viewing pleasure. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, this is where this kind of expressiveness would work in Lua, I'm sure. I was seriously just about to type local here. Oh, thank you, Detail Devil. Yeah, I hope you'll be able to join us tomorrow for when I'm working on that. Tomorrow during the stream, I'm going to be implementing the door locking component to the Go Homes, mod set, I guess, since this is going to be an optional. But yeah, we're going to be implementing that tomorrow, and that'll be a fun kind of diversion back into Lua land, as I'm wishing I was writing Lua right now. I'm going to go ahead and actually discontinue this. But thank you. Yeah, that'll be fun. I started just a tiny bit of work on it, and then I thought, you know what? This will be fun to stream and kind of have people give me feedback while I do it. Because I have some ideas, you know. Oh, gosh. See, this Python, so we got to go. Hey, Gia Yobel, welcome. Thank you for joining. All right, sweet. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're just, so we're working on code here. We're writing code for the, let's see here, the modding openmw.com website. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we're just, if you're not familiar with our website, you know, we just have mod lists for OpenMW, and yeah, we're just trying to like do normal maintenance right now, you know, make the code less terrible to work with, right? Nothing too crazy. How about you? DL URL, so that's another one we're gonna have to do in advance here. Just gonna go ahead and stuff all these in here. DL URL. Awesome. All right, so hopefully the code I wrote way back when can just handle all this data I'm giving it. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. Machine learning kind of stuff. Yeah. That's cool. All right, let's see what else blows up now. Trial by fire, trial by air program style. Okay. I think we're gonna say if so we're gonna have to make a decision that's already been made here in this code is, and we are default if. Maybe we didn't make the decision here. What is the default? I think I'm just going to set it to none, since it does default to none here, actually. Okay, whew. I was wondering, what do we default it to? Because it's a true-false kind of thing, but actually that doesn't matter. Wow, my computer's really... Is my stream lagging? Looks like a chug for a moment there. Yeah, nailed it, Detailed.
It is lagging just a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
So it gets back to normal now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my rig. I have to close some windows here. Yeah, I'm actually going to close. No, like. Okay, yeah. Apologies about that. I have a high-end potato here, but I guess it's a potato. Intel GPU nonetheless. All right. What I just got distracted. Is active. All right, let's go ahead and Yeah, something. Maybe it's doing it now. I reckon my CPU is just spiking. Okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this real quick. My text editor. Okay. What if I do... I'm going to go ahead and give me a terminal. Thank you. this open on my other display. And maybe I can get a clue aside from OBS. It seems to work well enough, but I don't know. Maybe we have to find another way to have, like, Gonzo and Sector on the audio as well that's not Discord. I'd be curious to see. Now I'm, like, watching my H-top. Just none. Everything is none. Okay. So I gotta ask you folks in the chat, what about what would you feel about how would you feel rather about like a OpenMW centered modathon, where maybe we had, like, you know, people available to help implement OpenMW specific features that maybe people aren't so familiar with. It's something I've been thinking about for a while. Because we just certainly have, you know, quite a few such features. Yeah. Thank you, Hunger. Yes. So we had a discussion actually on the OpenMW Discord yesterday, I believe. Our friend CM August was talking about just various features, mesh and texture features that OpenMW supports that nobody's really, you know, aside from Wazabear doing some slick demos or whatever, nobody's really used them. And I thought, well, you know, I assume at least part of that is because how do you do that? You know, I don't know. And it's not just because I have zero skills with textures and meshes and stuff like that, you know. Like, one of the things, for example, was the, like, if you've ever played Skyrim, you've no doubt seen, like, the fogs on the mountain kind of thing. That's a mesh. Textures, soft textures. And you could do that in OpenMW right now with a little bit of massaging. Sector might disagree with my terminology there. But with a little bit of massaging, you can make that work in OpenMW. Waza had that, like, cloud effect around Red Mountain, and it looked phenomenal, you know. And so I was thinking, there's the animation effect that's behind the animated containers, pluginless. Nobody's really used that, you know. I was just thinking, what's stopping people? And information on how to do it might be one thing, and that's certainly a problem we can solve. So yeah, I was just, you know, thinking about that.
I think one of the biggest advantages of this, because I've been stewing on this ever since you mentioned it, and I really like the idea. I think one of the biggest advantages of this, though, is that it would help us to foster a greater sense of community. You know, the modding events are a big reason why I like to hang out in MMC. And we don't have any kind of equivalent like that, right? The way that Dark Elf Guy facilitates events over there, I've made some really good friends from that. Like GV and I, Grumbling Vomit, we hang out and talk very regularly about game design and Morrowind modding, and he asked me engine questions, and that wouldn't necessarily have happened if we didn't end up teaming up in a Madness event last year, right? And we have a lot of scripters running around, but we don't really have a lot of, like, I just don't feel like there is a particularly strong sense of community amongst a lot of the people who are doing scripting. Like, we just kind of hang out sometimes in the Lewitt channel, and it's like, hey, I don't know how to do this. How can I accomplish that? And, you know, it's very transactional, right?
We're all cowboy programmers, right?
Yeah, that's a great way to say it more concisely. We're all cowboy programmers, and we don't really, like, we're not hanging out, getting to know each other, really.
I love that, Hunger. The Scriptures Cave, yeah, kind of is like that. Not intentionally, and certainly not because we're not, like, inclusive of people, right? Like, wow, the Lewitt channel has some of the most awesome discussion. And I feel like if I'm feeling, having a kind of brainlet moment and I don't know how to do something, I know I can go in there and be like, help me see the light, people. And I get good feedback always, so. And kind of further to that idea, something else, I'm just putting it all out there right now. Something else I've wanted to do for a while is a mod that is kind of like the Mournhold Museum of Artifacts, right? I've stewed on this with Brother Herdrax in the past, and what I would love to see is like an OpenMW Museum of Artifacts mod that is like the Mournhold Museum, except for instead of like OP items or whatever, we've got things that use OpenMW features, right, or script snippets, and it's an interactive mod that you can go in, excuse me, see the thing happening, and maybe we like give a link to the feature, and we have it documented well, because like I do believe. Correct. Yeah, Honker. Yeah, it's Morrowind Modding Community Discord. When we talk about MMC, we're talking about kind of hanging out there and chatting with people at large, not just mostly actually not OpenMW people. And yeah, it's good. It's good discussion oftentimes. So, yeah. Let's make this happen now here. I fix my typo. And I think, yeah, every time I start up IPython, I'm noticing so I apologize about that. Ooh, okay. Can you tell me which one you didn't like? Okay, fine. So yeah. Museum of mod feature examples that's interactive, I think would be pretty cool. And yeah, also just having like an event where we're saying, oh yeah, let's, this week the theme is like TES4 features in use, or something like that. Using cool features on a Lua player script or something like that, All right, let's go back to the code. We're going to have to figure out what the problem is here. Excuse me. Too much coffee. Yeah, it's blowing up right here because the slug I'm giving something is not unique. Okay, that's great. So we're going to have to see. I'll put this print here, but also let's go to the code that works with the slug. Okay. Interesting. So it would be none here, right? Not a really useful print. Just a sanity check. Okay. Oh, right. I know what's going on. Yeah, Honker, yeah. So it's actually super easy to get into, too. Like, if you've done any programming, then I think you might find Lua somewhat welcoming, I actually, like, the more Lua I work with, the more I, the more I dislike Python. Frankly, I like the simplicity and kind of minimalist implementation of Lua, versus just Python. I don't know, like, what's the right way to do things anymore, and there's so many features, and I still love it. But yeah, anyways, that's good feedback, because one of the things I was thinking is, we can have like a lagging right now. Sorry about that. I was thinking though, yeah, like okay, this week it's like Lua mods that involve combat, and we can have like a really minimal, because it's kind of, you have to do some gymnastics to detect combat, so we could maybe start people off with, this is how you do that, and if you want to know, or maybe that's a bad example, and there's some other high level easier thing we could set people off on. This is how you detect a door nearby, which is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow actually. And yeah, stuff like that. Got to think about it, but Yeah, my hope is that it would invite people to come and just try stuff. All right, so we got there. Yeah. Oh, right, that's right. I was talking and I realized that the reason why this is happening is because I have in here, I have a database with all these mods already in it. We're kind of like jumping around the usual reset the database process here. So I think, can I get away with, whoops. Can I get away with just deleting it, I wonder? Whew, okay. Nuts. Okay. Oops. Actually, this is probably good. Actually. Yeah. No good. Okay. I should have a make file for this. There we go. Whew. Have not done that in a minute. All right. I think we got a schema now. That's what this did. Let's all right. Hey, Sophia. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. Hope you're having a lovely day. We're hacking today on Gonzo's ongoing getting the data out of the Python stuff. And so he's actually made that a reality. I am taking that reality and putting it into the code. We're going to move away from the Python. So, yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day out there. Yeah, good feedback, Detail Devil. Yeah, I feel like that's really something that OpenMW scripting needs is like some concrete, small examples of useful patterns. Because myself included, people are kind of like banging their heads against their desks, reinventing the wheel. Gnounce has figured out so many cool patterns, you know. Ooh, my lag is happening again. No good. Wow. That's pretty bad. Let's come back here. Okay, actually we don't need this. I think this code all just works, actually. I think it's going to be a Todd moment. Don't quote me. All right, maybe do. Okay. 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 I don't actually know what happened. So I was expecting something to be in the database here because that ran with no complaints. Okay. Let's go in here. And let's go to where we actually make the thing and put it in the database. Yeah, here we go. Give me that sanity check here. Oh, and yeah, Sophia, I deleted all the data except for, I don't know, like just one category to save myself time. doesn't seem to upset my CPU too much. Here we go. Okay. Still nothing, and my print never happened. So, what gives? So that explains no mod, right? Let's dive in. In fact, is anything running? Not even a hello, Todd. Well, let's just back out. Mamma mia. This should just be none. I'm a little flummoxed, to be perfectly frank. Yeah, that's a double print. Let's try it again. Wait a minute. I see. Okay, yeah. This code made sense at the time, I assure you. That would be our problem, most likely. That Skywind soundtrack. I don't know. Gonzo, can we hear the music on the street? A lot of interesting tunes on this.
Yeah, I can hear just fine.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm a little confused about this result. Whoop. Let's go ahead and just okay. All right, finally. I'm not insane that much. So, but we're literally not getting here. Okay. Ooh. Yes. Okay, I understand what's going on now. Just had to dust off cobwebs of my brain. Okay. We don't have any categories. That's why that's not working, you dummy. All right, I'm just going to comment that out. We're going to generate everything until here. And I'm just going to comment those out too. Ooh. We're lagging again. The song did change. I don't reckon that's some reason why it should lag, though. All right. We'll go ahead and use the good old crunch script. But I disabled most of what it's going to do. Ooh! Ooh, okay. Interesting. I did want to look at tests, so maybe we'll just comment that out for now, and that'll be something we'll have to, re-implement. I don't even remember what that's for. All right, let's try it again. Oh my, okay. Test. All right, third time is a charm. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, nice and fast. Excellent. And so we put categories and tags in the database and some other junk, not mods. And that's what we're going to do now with this. Ooh, there we go. Excellent. The universe makes sense again. Okay, so coming back here now to our mess. Come on now. There you go. My keyboard is sticking. I tried to clean it and apparently did a lousy job. Okay, date updated. Oh, okay. Another one that's fine. That's fine. Excellent. Oh, Detail Devil, by the way, going back to your earlier question, I don't know if you saw, but the grass generator has been getting some updates, and that's really, really exciting. I wanted to take a little bit of time today to look at that later. I would say that's noteworthy to say. We just need to get some people to make grass for the TR regions that lack it at this point, really, and we're set. We as a project can, I'm lagging again. Oof. We as a project can auto-generate, ground cover for the entire mod list, or any mod list, which is very exciting. Are we better now? Yeah, we're better. Okay. Sheesh. I have a sneaking suspicion it might be. I'm using a special kernel on I use Linux, and I'm using a special kernel that's supposed to be more responsive, but I have a feeling maybe it's not having the intended effect. So tomorrow I'll probably stream with just the stock Linux kernel and not my patched one. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. All right. Let's do this again. Ooh, I don't actually know. I don't need to do that. Wake up. Okay. Thank you, Detail Devil. I will wait to respond until I'm done lagging. But yes, actually, thank you, Sophia. Actually generate. But to be clear, I don't. So partially actually generate. Like what we probably won't be able to automate fully is like reading a load order. That's probably still going to have to be done on somebody's computer. Like somebody's going to have to load up Total Overhaul, run it through the generator, get the exact grass out. But once we have that, we convert it to YAML or JSON or whatever, put that in our patches repo or whatever, and then that is part of our machine that gives you folks the zips you need to play the mods. Something like that. I don't know. All right. And to be clear, let's go ahead and get let's verify we got nothing. And if this works...
This is one more step to my master plan of making everything CLI compatible so we can stick it into ASHEMs.
Yeah, well, so it does sound amazing, Detail Devil. And in case you weren't here when we talked about it already, Yacoby, who is, it's a community legend, has just within the past 5 hours, made a release to the groundcover generator that not only adds a basic CLI, but you'll note here there's an Ubuntu package. Yeah, it's a Linux binary. And yes, it works. In fact, I'm so hyped about this. I'm going to run it right now.
I did make sure to specify, we wanted to use it in CI, so I think that might have had something to do with why he did that, because he's like, oh, they want to use for CI, so...
Yeah, I mean, so props to Yacoby. Thank you. I doubt he will see this, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I mean, look at this. So this is a native Linux GUI. That import from OpenMW button, I assure you, works very well. I made just a BS, Remy's AC config just to test. Click that and boom, it just loaded up I have a testing load order here, and boom, it just works. I mean, I could, it's Christmas for mod creators. So very amazing. And, from my own personal experience, it's quite burdensome to create ground cover. So, maybe we could take a little load off Random Pal and other content creators that can focus on actually good content, and all right, key error tags. Not every mod has tags. Ooh, here we go with the lag again. Right. So you feed it your OpenMW config. It reads your load order, all of your data paths, all of your content files. I don't know if it reads OMW add-ons. Maybe not. But it seemed to work. I didn't actually test the plugin that I created yet. Still have to do that. But I mean, it didn't complain or crash, which was a notable feature it used to have. Tags, okay, that's right. It's yeah, some of the stuff I tell you. So again, I just can't thank Yacoby enough for coming out of the woodworks and still caring about the community. We're lucky. We got the G7s and the Yacobys and the Hernt Jams and everybody. Come on now, this surely is not an error. What are you doing, Pie Flakes? Okay, I don't care. Whoops. Quick recrunch. I used to really dread creating ground cover. There was a day 2-3 years ago when I used to generate custom ground cover for Total Overhaul and Expanded Vanilla, and it always had problems. I tried so hard to get it right, and it always had problems. And so I'm just really glad we have, some better options now. This seems to be... It was very janky to try and get my OpenMW load order, properly into a vanilla load order, and just the fact that it reads OpenMW now is thank you so much, Yacoby. You rock. All right. Real quick. So we're gonna do this.
Yeah, that last update he dropped was a banger too. From I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago or whatever. They just very suddenly had an update for it, and it's oh, it's very stable now. That's excellent.
Yeah. And here you have it, my friends. The dream kind of realized. I think we can go ahead and remove all my spam here. But so what we've done is we have read the new data format. We have processed it with some reminders that it's being processed. And then I have queried the database, and we got the data. Awesome. That feels good. Now, what's next? Unfortunately... What are you doing here? This is like drawing a squiggly line there like it's a problem. I assure you it's not.
Hell yeah.
There we go. All right. Okay. I don't know. Let's just see here. Let's open up the data file here. Now let's just see if some of these. So this one, Saplings ground cover patch, has some tags, right? They all have tags of ground cover. Actually, we can poke at any of them. Verts. That's the one. All right. What do we got here? Vert's ground cover, V tags. Come on now. Ding that database a little bit. There we go. All. Okay. Okay, so we have no tags because what we have done here is, oh my poor computer. What we've done here is we've just passed kind of a garbage value, right? Actually, what we should do here, let's go back up here. We're going to pull tags out of there. I think that's all we'll need to give this treatment to, but we'll see. And so we're going to say if we got them, we now need to actually get the tag from the database, right? So let's tag. Okay. And just as a reminder for my own sanity here, okay, great. Just need a reminder about what that data looked like. Yeah, I don't know why OBS just today. I'm so disappointed. Terribly sorry to stream viewers. I'll do better tomorrow. Okay, so we just need to, I reckon what we're given most of the time here would be the name of the tag, right? Game expanding. This is a name. So we'll count on that. We're going to assume. Don't tell me what happens when you do that. Wait, what did you... Oh, I hit the wrong... I hit the wrong key. Tag name. Let's be explicit here. The linter will probably yell at me for using a bad variable name anyways, and I won't blame it. T is what I was going to use, but future me will be scratching my head, no doubt. What is T? Okay, tag. It's not minus equals tag. Objects. Get. Tag. See, it makes so much more sense. And let's actually do this. Yeah, that seems pretty good, right? Except for the indent error I just created. Okay. Good. Okay. This is a lie. I think that code is fine. I really think my linter is just being unreliable at the moment. We're just going to run the code. I'm not going to worry about it. All right. What I am worried about is being almost out of coffee. Here we go. Okay. Yep. Yeah, okay. That's actually the result I wanted, because we have no mods. Okay.
Oh man, I just achieved... I actually just managed to write a comment that was so long the GitLab bot was not able to process it. I feel like I've accomplished something.
Wow. Okay, so this is no good. So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to say, right? Yeah, because it's still key error, so back in the block you go. And you get uncommented. Actually. Yes. All right, so if I can actually just remove that if, because it doesn't save me from hitting the exception. Thanks, Python. All right. Okay. All right. Ooh. I'm lagging, but it worked. Okay, let's see. Too lazy to type, so. That did not work. Okay.
Hello.
Settiness. Hey, good day. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
What's up, baby?
It's like you're fighting a boss right now with like in the code because of the song. It's a spectacle. It's kind of funny.
It's how I feel. Thank you for that.
It's very appropriate.
I hope you're doing well today.
I am. I found a lead on the whole dark mode thing just now. So.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Settiness fighting the dark mode in within OpenMW GUIs on Linux, specifically like a Qt6 KDE. Right? That's your situation?
Yeah, the tarball unexpectedly is not dark mode, so that indicates that it's something to do with like the Ubuntu process and Arch Linux specifically, I believe. So I'm gonna have to look at the native builds.
Okay, and
Sorry?
so by the tarball you mean the CI one, or do you mean like the release one?
Oh, the CI one. I did do the dev one. I should try the release one though. That's a good idea.
So there's Kill build. Kill has builds. So I produce Linux builds in the form of an app image, but Kill, our friend who produces the release builds for Linux, actually has some system that produces dev builds for Linux. Unfortunately, that link is not well advertised. I would try one of those though. Capo has mentioned it a few times in the general chat. I'll try to find a link. You should try those though, for sure.
Kill
Linux
Bill?
Life. Kill. It's K1LL. I don't think they're on Discord, but they're on the OpenMW forums. Longtime community member, Linux guru for sure.
Gotcha.
I miss working with them. Yeah, we worked together long ago. I was trying.
But I didn't know about those builds until I had seen. It was either Capo or I think it might actually have been that guy that came and was trying to fix Lux Torpida recently. I was like, what the heck are these? And yeah, that's a thing. It's right there on the OpenMW downloads page, just sitting there. It was like, oh, huh.
Oh, it's on there now. They link to it. Because that's great.
Yeah. I was because I was complaining about it. I'm like, well, where are these even advertised? I've never seen this or heard of it. And Capo was like, it's right there on the downloads page, dude. What are you talking about?
SETI, try
and I
this
looked,
one.
and sure enough, it's right there.
Yeah, that's the domain redfortune.de. Excuse me. Tried these.
Okay.
Yeah. Also.
So that's where I got it from.
That's where you got it from. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, what's this? What is the deal with this? Oh my gosh. Don't read that. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to have to put our heads together on that, SETI, because, yeah, it seems wrong.
I'm going to look at, like, what libraries I'm using. I'm assuming it's, like, Qt6 and Ubuntu just... it'll probably work itself out over time, I'm guessing.
Yeah, very interesting, though, because I think probably a lot of apps would have this trouble, you know? I don't even... Where did I type hello, Todd? Come on now. I don't think you joined yet, Settiness, but I think the reason why my stream is lagging today is because of my TKG kernel. I hate to say it.
Oh, okay. I thought that was me.
No. It's me. Yeah, it's I don't know. Tomorrow I'm going to use vanilla Linux, and we'll see. You know, we'll see what shakes out. But yeah, I don't know.
I've been using Zen for almost a year now. Like, I mean, Daddy Valve says it's okay, so I mean, I kind of like it. It's fine.
I have Zen patches for sure. I don't have any CPU scheduler patch though. I don't know. Maybe that's what's really the problem here. Trying to use CFS, you know.
Do you operate in performance mode?
I do.
Or
Yeah.
performance governor? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. We should check that though. For those of you at home who don't use Linux, we're just talking about like custom setups, right? Like you can't customize the kernel really in Windows or Mac because it's closed source, but Linux being open source, people are making patches and all kinds of customizations. And as Seti mentioned, Valve is producing lots of Linux patches that are good for games and I/O and other things related to games. And so that's what I tried to do. I tried to use a patch kernel that is sort of optimized for games. Inadvertently seems to be terrible for streaming. So yeah. Still nothing there.
Yeah,
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, like, why do I have to do all this stuff to get audio working? It just works, like, you know, in Windows and stuff like that. And I think it has to do with OSIO having a lot of low latency stuff built into it, and Linux is just tuned for performance and not really low latency out of the box. So you kind of have to set up your own OSIO, if you will, on Linux.
Yeah. Agree, Detail Devil. Yeah, it was crazy to see how much activity there was. I myself had a couple of ideas I didn't really get time to bang out, including a collaboration with Settiness on dynamic interior sounds that I do expect to do at some point. But yeah, it was a good year for sure. Saw some good stuff from many folks. We're not even getting here, so my code is terrible. We're gonna say if I'm so rusty with Python. I'm a little embarrassed. But further to what Detail Devil just said, I've got the Lua fever. Really, shoot, like before the stream here, while this is crunching, I was noodling away on one of my latest projects, which is I talked about it last week, was this Distant Fixes mod, which will, if you've ever played the game and seen things pop in and out because they are enabled or disabled at a certain quest point, like the faction strongholds. Indeed, our friend Zach has made an excellent implementation that handles those. I'm taking it a step further, and I'm trying to make a framework that can support mods that do this. And so here I have a basic example of Ether Pirates Discovery by Billy Fighter. And what this on the right-hand side here does is it tells my code, enable these at this point, disable those at that point, blah, blah, blah. And it's magic. It just works. So I just can't get enough. And as you can tell, I also can't get enough YAML, apparently, which makes me question my life decisions, I'll be honest. Ooh, and my kernel choices.
Hey, so I'm curious. I know we talked about this just a little bit in text. But I'm still not entirely sure that I understand exactly what the motivation behind this particular script is. Like, I get that it's related to distant land. We're disabling and enabling things, but what is the benefit? What does it do for you?
Of the Distant Fixes code that I kind of flashed quickly and then flashed away from, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great question. So again, as I mentioned, we already have a great implementation by Zach that works with BCOM. It handles the ghost fence and blah, 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 all that stuff. And is performant and works well. So why do we need what I have? Well, I mean, if you look at the code of any implementation, if you look at some of my prior Distant Fixes mods, it's like, ugh, this is frustrating. It's some code, you know. It's tedious, and like to edit the Lua code for every single mod that's out there in some way that does this, it would be tedious. And so my thinking was, let's take something like this that just says what we need to activate or deactivate, when we need to deactivate it or activate it, whether or not it needs to be activated or deactivated, and we feed that to some generic code. Then we won't have to have like some Lua spaghetti monster that infinitely grows. You know what I'm saying? We can just have a few cases that we.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Like making it generic and scalable through YAML like this is really cool, and I feel like the benefit of that is really obvious, right? But I just don't feel like I understand. Oh, okay. For example, if you approach Teluvira that hasn't built yet, it will still show up in the far distance.
I was gonna say spoilers. You know, like
yes,
it can prevent spoiling a lot of stuff. That's a good example.
Yeah. Here, I'll go ahead and load up the game, and we'll go ahead and take a look at Teluvira, for example. Yeah, and it's like, so if you're using a mod like building up Ivir's legacy, there's just like all this stuff, like a fully built out city, and then you approach and it just vanishes, poof, and it's a little jarring, right? So let's go ahead and just...
Oh, okay, I see. So these objects are actually, like, they still appear in the distance unless you force the script interaction on it.
Exactly, yeah. It's an engine quirk where even though it's disabled, the script won't disable it until the cell is actually loaded, right? So we just kind of coerce that into happening.
Oh.
Yeah. And props to Himeris, really, for years ago figuring out this pattern. And like I said, folks have refined it over the years, and I learned a lot from Zach's code, even if I didn't use his exact pattern. So yeah, props to Zach. Basically, his mod inspired me. So here's an example. All right, woo. So you can see there that structure in the distance. That's Teluvira. However, if I just go ahead and whoa, and there we go. That's what we're trying to avoid. And plenty of mods do this.
Ugh.
Yeah,
SHP bar.
Plenty of mods do this too, actually. You know, I've been playing a total overhaul run myself, and I've been trying to like note when it happens. And I think a lot of times, so some mods are designed in such a way that you'll never see it. Like, I want to support Raven Rock for Tomb of the Snow Prince, but at the same time, actually, it literally doesn't matter because that mod is designed in such a way that unless you are flying in, like, you're never going to see it. There's like the land is designed such that you just don't see it, and it would load and automatically populate before you actually would see it do so. I still would want to support it, but yeah. So for some mods, it's a non-issue completely. All right, my Python is no good right now. I hate to say it.
Needs more
cool,
braces.
thank you. I didn't mean to sidetrack you too much there. I apologize.
No, I love it. Sidetrack. That's why I love having you all here on the stream with me, and it's not just me yakking away nonstop. If not, yeah, right? Come on. We go. Right. So okay.
Can I ask, was your Twitch avatar always Cranky Kong?
Yes, sir.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's a bummer. We got no output. It means we never even got here. So Okay. We do need to put this here. This will just work, I assure you. And yeah, actually, further to what Detail Devil said about Televirith and what I mentioned about building up a Virus legacy, the MW script approach that was basically invented by Himeris, that I sort of adopted for some of my mods, is basically impossible for something huge like building up a Virus legacy. I counted in the CS, and there's over 700 objects that would need to get disabled, re-enabled, and just the MW script approach required manually intervening and renaming objects and stuff, and there's just no way I was doing that. Just no way. So the Lua way is the way, in fact. All right, well, I need to see it, but there it is. What's happening here, folks?
Generally, I mean, anything seemingly basic with MW script can very quickly turn into nightmare fuel.
Right.
Like in the feature that I'm working on right now for the Lua API, I demonstrated this by showing a really, really old MW script library, quote unquote, if you could call it that, for getting the sign of an object. And it's like 100 or 150 lines of darkness in order just to like look at a number and get the sign of it. It's very simple geometry that you can do in like a single call in Lua to just math.sin. It's like 10 characters, you stick something in there, and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We had to do similar acrobatics to rescue NCGD once upon a time. By we, I mean Atahualpa and myself. Just because there's so many limitations. You got to reinvent the wheel and then some. Yeah, so we definitely have tags here. What gives? This might just be my bad Python, honestly. Like... Oh, settiness, by the way, did you see, too, that the new groundcover generator natively works on Linux?
I did see that.
Happy day.
Didn't we like post an issue? One of us, somebody
Sector did,
about that.
Sure did, yeah.
That is awesome that they responded. That's so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What are they using for the UI? Does anyone know?
GTK? At least that's what I get. It's probably some native.
I believe that's the case, yes.
Yeah, and on Windows it must be just native or whatever. Oh man,
I was quite surprised too. I expected to like get a response from him and be like, "Yeah, I'll take care of that," and you know, it shows up in a few weeks. Took him like 6 hours. He's a legend.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll say, just something, you know. Very pleasant surprise with my coffee this morning. Ooh. Well, that's something, too. I'm going to go ahead and Control-C that. Did I create an infinite loop? Let's do that again, and I'll stop it more quickly. Okay, here we go. Whoop. I'm trying to see. Ooh, there we go. We got tags, okay. So I've done something terribly wrong here. Not really sure how that got us an infinite loop, but Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I just have HTOP going and it's like OBS completely monopolizing CPU. I don't know what's going on.
Did you ever switch to what is it, H.265?
No. I want to say I looked into it and it wasn't just like a switch to flip, so I gave up. All right, here we go.
There might be a VA API option for it.
Yeah, okay.
Like it, I think like AMC is not a thing, or you need the Pro driver, something with that. I looked into it and it was like being discontinued or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. I won't. Yeah, this is the Intel machine, so.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, shucks.
I'm always wrestling with that because the performance gain's really good, but not a lot of things will support it, like DaVinci Resolve, for example.
You have the same GPU as I, and I want to say my support experience with it in the past was not the greatest, but maybe that's a bad recollection. Come on now. We got this. I wasn't expecting this to be such a dumpster fire, frankly. Woo. Wow, stop. I swear I just did that. Okay. Well.
Decode the save format, do the and figure out how this actually works and integrate that into test3 command, because I'm getting this thing with the saves. People always have trouble with their saves. It's so frustrating. And it's like, man,
yeah.
it's just a plug-in. We should be able to just blast this stuff like vanilla users can. It's like, oh, I updated BCom mid-save, and now my whole playthrough is just hosed. Oh, we can do better.
Right, we can do better. That's what I've been saying for a minute, and I was wondering if we could somehow maybe get support baked into either Delta plugin or G7's lib,
Well, that was kind of why I wanted to do it through test3 command first, because it's dead, and we don't have to, we can just hack that up to bits at our own leisure, and
True.
Once we understand the save format, we can actually go in and be like, hey, this is how this thing works, here's all of it. I know Ben is somewhat reticent to do support for things that are undocumented, and I don't really blame him, because the save format changes a lot. Not
It's true.
as maybe not like a ton, but it's a lot more to support than OMW add-on, which is relatively static. It's pretty much just ESP with like one additional thing layered on top of it.
Yeah. Which begs the question, at least though there ought to be, and maybe this is something we can all put our heads together on, there ought to be some kind of documentation on the format, right? It's open source. The documentation right now is literally the code, but, there could be some more, I think.
Well, that's kind of what makes it nice, is it's like, with the exception of the embedded Lua records, there's already documentation. Like, you can literally just pull up the UASP mod file format page and that's 95% of what OMW add-on is.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Feels like good territory for the modding wiki too, possibly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's categorically the kind of thing that we have an entire category of things for that mostly just boils down to the mod file format and having some more details on it. But the UASP wiki documentation on it is actually really, really solid. Like I've compared it against G7's lib a few times while I'm doing things in the construction set, and they're very nearly one-to-one, with a few exceptions of things that just aren't documented there at all, like really, really niche things about land records and that sort of thing.
Interesting. Meanwhile, I'm still stuck in infinite loop land over here, puzzled beyond belief. Excuse me. But I ain't even mad because this song is chill. Indeed. We can do better. We can provide tools for OpenMW at least, and build them. That's our goal, I think, though. What is the deal with this code? Wow.
Well, you know, DD, this is one of those things that, like, really kind of annoys me about OMW add-on, is that it's made out to be different, but it's not. It's just not. It's ESP. That's why there is the common knowledge that you can just rename an OMW add-on into an ESP and it still works, because it is. The one key difference is that a true OMW add-on does not have compiled script data. So in order for it to work in vanilla, if it has scripts in it, you have to resave it in TES-CS or MW-edit. Other than that one exception, they're almost completely identical. And extensions to the format, according to what the MWSE devs have told me, still will load in Morrowind. Our version of the engine is actually stricter about how it will behave when it sees stuff in a plugin it doesn't recognize and self-terminate. But what they have informed me of is that Morrowind.exe does not do that. It'll just ignore stuff it doesn't know how to read. It's a really, really simple format, so it's very easy for the engine to just look at that and be like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, and just skip over it while it's reading it. So, I think it's like 95% a myth that OMW add-on is a different thing. And it's kind of one of those things that just really tweaks me mentally, because I'm like, that's not.
Could it be more in the future?
It could be more in the future, and we already have a demonstrable example of how it extra things in it, like the embedded Lua records, right? But like I said, vanilla itself, it doesn't know how to read those, so it'll just skip over them. It doesn't know what to do.
I just realized what I was doing too. Sheesh. If you're following along at home, I'd like have a circular thing going on here with this variable name. Oh, okay. Everything makes sense. And I was totally listening to what Sector said too. And he's right. But in the future, my thinking was it would need to be different, because like other games have other records that are not supported by Morrowind.exe, right?
Well, we have records that aren't supported by Morrowind.exe already.
Indeed.
Um,
Lua.
and- yeah, and the original engine is totally capable of just being like, well, I don't know what that is, and it just goes on.
Could they
So
not
it's
add,
not.
Could they not add Lua, new records? Could they not do that?
They actually already did. It's not one-to-one with our implementation of it, but they already have that. They generally discourage people from using it because it's annoying, but it's a thing.
Okay.
And that's
Yes.
actually why Abbott has his own special version of TES3 command that he's cooked up. That's exactly what it's for. He stuck in the MWSE version of Lua records, and it can read them, and it doesn't explode when you try to put those sorts of plugins into it.
Interesting. Yeah, so I just did it again. Let's see here. Name in this thing. There we go. We're just so close. And my laptop just keeps lagging up. Ugh, thank you for sticking with me, everybody. Whoa. Let's go back to the... Let's try it again. Wowee. A little 4-letter word caused me so much agony. All right. Hey, look, I think it's finally just working, folks. Look at this. We didn't even need that. Boom. Yes. All is right with the world again. Well, no, but this is right. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. See, it doesn't amount to a lot, actually. I just was struggling for a minute. All right. Category seems to just work. I don't know. I think we can... let's try to generate everything. I'm going to go ahead and undelete all the data now. You know what? We're not going to do it this way. We're going to do it in a way that's not going to be terrible. Did you not undelete? Come on, friend. Okay, wow. Did they really finally deprecate that? Thanks, Git. Git checkout never made sense for that command, I admit, but I've been doing it for 15 years. That's annoying. So did that work? Let's see. No, okay. Maybe checkout still works then, and I did something else wrong. Doing it live. Uh-oh. Yeah, hopefully not breaking any necks in the process. Here we go. All right. Now back to my Python. The end is in sight. And boy, is it laggy. Okay. Wow, laptop, really? We're in like the home stretch of the stream, and it's just got to throw a fit. All right. Here we go. Good, good, okay. Just another special case we didn't handle. Not everything has a URL. Good. Oh, oops. Just making the code explode. Wow, how fitting it's playing like the end boss theme. Okay.
I just tried jamming all the Qt6 libraries into the app image. It didn't work.
No dice.
No, it's crashing horribly.
That's not that surprising. I don't know. Qt is weird. Cute. Atahualpa calls it cute. Which makes sense, I guess.
According to their documentation, that is actually how you were supposed to say it. But, screw that.
I will not be doing that.
Come
no.
on.
I've got about a gigabyte of worth of updates for my Void laptop.
Oh, nice. Generally
Is that
speaking,
the net.
Go ahead, Sadiness.
Sorry, go ahead. I was
No.
just gonna ask if that was the net upgrade size or if that was just the download.
Generally speaking, you can, with Void, you can go as long as you want without updating. But yeah, Gonzo, is that like the downloaded size, or is that like the... Because it gives you two sizes, right? Status here.
Let me see here.
Void, we're talking about Void Linux, by the way, which is the Linux distribution I have used for 10 years.
So it says space required on disk is 3 gigs, but it was like a gig of updates.
Nice.
I've been thinking about making like a graph chart to track my overall like OS size over time, and there was just a little bit too many variables for me to do it easily. But I wanted to because I hypothesized that even though a lot of times you get like a net smaller size, that I think over time it will just creep upwards. But you also have to control for how many packages you're installing and removing, because it's not the same system. So I kind of threw that idea out. I was gonna post it on r/data is beautiful or something.
That would be interesting to see for sure. Okay. Will it blend? Okay. Suddenly there's TOML errors. Can you believe this, Gonzo? It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
The TOML errors, you don't say.
All right, these should be relatively found tokens after closed string invalid.
That's what I'm saying. We need Johnny Hostle's obvious
Oh, that's what you were going for there.
Marshmallow.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I would like jump out the window before I invented a data format. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I
let's see.
figured that would be something you would not be interested in doing.
No, my data format would be S expressions, right? I'd be like, use S expressions, deal with it. What's an S expression? Well, if you've never used a Lisp family of language, it's basically the Lisp form of things inside parentheses in a nutshell. That's a very, very oversimplification of it. But yeah, I would just say use S expressions. They're not perfect for everything, but they are relatively unambiguous and work mostly. So do that. Okay, what blew up your charge? Oh, right up here, author, single quoted author. Why did that not blow up before? Oh, I probably fixed it. Yeah, you know what? I probably fixed it and then unfixed it when I deleted the files. Silly me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Rather than fix it again. That way. We're going to fix it again this way. Okay. That should do it. Whoopsie.
Is Twitch going crazy for anyone else?
Yes.
I keep seeing the throbber. Like, it seems like a bandwidth thing.
Yeah, my potato internet.
I think
actually
that
found-
might just be you, feller.
Well, I found out I'm like the only house in the neighborhood that doesn't have fiber service. So I have to like find out what's the deal with that.
That's annoying.
It's pretty annoying. I got Comcast, who are terrible, if you don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have the same problem in my neighborhood. I've looked this up a bunch of times. So there's a like we're pretty far out here in the middle of La La Land, right? And my neighbor on the other side of the street, he can get fiber. That's the cutoff line. So if I lived on the other side of the street, I could have like perfect internet. But I live on the wrong side of the street, so
See you later, Detail Devil. Good talking.
Thanks for the visit, DD. It's good to see you, buddy.
Always, yeah. All right. Ooh, it's starting to look like some not total garbage code, maybe. This is not going to cut it right here. We're going to need some, to make the error message a bit more helpful. For now, fine, I'll leave it like that. Okay. Man, I'm just so disappointed about the stream lagging. Hopefully it won't be an issue tomorrow. Alright. Make the linter happy here.
It put me at like 160p. That's why I think it's on my end a little bit.